So you're thinking about visiting Onett. That's a brilliant idea. Onett is a stunning part of England that checks all the boxes you can imagine. We've got meteorite crashes, amazing bluffs, giant steps, well, a giant step, and a surprisingly endless forest that stretches beyond comprehension. We're all fun and games here. Yeah. But one thing we don't joke about is how to pronounce Onett. Onett is the way to say the name of this town. People say it wrong, and it irks us. Most of those Tucson people, but no one likes that. Onett is split into 6 stunning areas: downtown, uptown, the residential outskirts, also known as the hills, the caves, the bluffs, and Tucson Road. But we don't really care to talk about Tucson, so let's call it Long Road. Yeah. If you're thinking about making Onett a permanent residence, you'll be joining a total population of 3,500 people, which is roughly the same size as the city St. Asaph in North Wales, which is the second least populated city in the UK. Did you know that the Queen declared St. Asaph a city in 2012? I know, right? Wow, good for them. Anyway, most of the residents border downtown, but the nice houses are up on the hills. You have the Minches, Aloysius, Lardna, Pokey, and Picky. Thanks. They own the big old boy with the purpley roof, and their neighbors, the Montagues. At least that's what I think their last name is. I haven't had a chance to check with the father of the house. He's been away. But his wife, Rachel, and his son, Ness, live there with their dog, King. Nice people. And the last person you'll find on the hills is Mr. Edgery. He mainly keeps to himself. He's been known for his hobby as a sign maker. Recently, he dug up a radical gold statue beneath his house, so that's cool. Also, he likes eating garlic and working out. Don't ask me why I knew that. If you're looking to join the happy residents, you're in luck. There is a bluff home available for a mere $7,500 in 1994 money. And in case you don't have your calculator around, that's just shy of $15,900 in 2024 money. And not to ruin the surprise of how the inside looks, but it's definitely an open floor plan. It's got a crazy view of the ocean as well. Beak Point. That's what that area is called, because it's shaped like a bird's beak. My favorite part of Beak Point is the saxophone player that toots out a sped-up version of Anton Dvorak's Symphony No. 9. Chef's kiss. Circling around a bit north, you'll run into where most of our parks are located. A beautiful stretch of green space is ideal for people watching while you tow the scenic path, or perhaps you can visit our library. Feel free to grab a map of the city. It's absolutely free. Just remember to bring it back after you conquer the world. When you're next to the library, wiggle through the trees and peek into the treehouse that was illegally erected there. Since it's full of children, we've had a problem tearing it down, but I digress. If that bit of walking paths aren't enough, you can stretch your legs on the the Long Road just south of town. The path is quite nice, surrounded by a thick, endless forest, and it has virtually no hills. If you're feeling social, stop inside the exit mouse's house and steal one of her children. I'm told she encourages it. Though it's not any of my business, I assume there's some financial issues going on. Whatever you get into in the Long Road, keep in mind that depending on what time of year you visit, it may be barricaded off by our beloved police force. They've been known to do that. The city of Onett has absolutely zero crime. Some people seem to have an issue with the gang of ruffians known as the Sharks in downtown, but if you just avoid that area, there's nothing to worry about. Speaking of inconveniences, there are some annoyances you'll run into, but they are mostly mild animals that like to creep around in the tall grass. You have your snakes, dogs, and crows. Sneaking up on them from the back is the best. If you're intimidated by those tiny, tiny little creatures, then you're definitely going to want to avoid the caves. It is stocked full of ants and slugs, crazy strong mice, and oh yeah, and a terrifyingly titanic ant that actually killed a buddy of mine. Yep, chopped him right off the knees. Rest easy, Clarence. Anyway, that behemoth of an ant guards our giant step. And let's be honest, this photo is more than you'll need to enjoy it. Look at those toes. Just check out that amazing balanced arch support. It's been there for decades, but no one seems to know where it's from. Oh, that's weird. Well, since you've all promised to avoid the caves, we don't have to worry about that anymore. And also, there's a little shack leading to it. It was vandalized by the sharks, so we locked it. Stay out! Don't you worry. You're in safe hands. Your Mayor Perkley is a good... And a police chief. Chief Strong is definitely a trustworthy... Okay, well, there's a police presence, and they'll knock your socks off. Apparently, there's a news article coming out later today showing a video that was recorded of them trying to fight a child. Child one, don't worry. And that brings us to the creme de la creme of our downtown area. It would be easier to list the things that it doesn't have. That's how totally awesome it is. However, I will be listing things it has because that's more helpful in these kind of videos. We have plenty of good eating. Burger shop where you can enjoy fries, coffee, fruit juice, and of course, a burger. It's a bit trendy. Like most burger places today, you can expect to pay $1,400 for a nice juicy boy. If a good old-fashioned cow isn't what you fancy, pop down to the bakery. There you can pick up bread rolls, cookies, a skip sandwich, and just laced with cocaine. And a lucky sandwich, which if you have to ask how much it is, you can't afford it, peasant. And if you're in the mood for pizza, forget it. It's closed. There are 2 places to stay the night if you're from out of town. First is a hotel located smack dab in the middle of town. You're looking around $35 per person, which is an incredible price. I mean, one time my dad and I stayed in a motel in Kentucky that was for $35 a night, and the front door was left open when we got there, and the room's heat didn't work. So I don't want to hear you complaining about the cost. The second place you can stay the night is the hospital. The hospital has 3 staff members that help with every ailment. They are mostly very nice. It's probably because they're paid quite well. If you're looking to stock up on sports equipment and jewelry, you better check out the drugstore. Duh. There you can get a t-ball bat or a yo-yo. Maybe a baseball cap if you'd rather spend your precious money and get the free one from the Treehouse Gang. And then you can don a nice cheap bracelet. I'm not sure how they sell so many of those, calling it a cheap bracelet, but man, they're still in business for a reason. Also, there's an item called a cracked bat. They literally have an unlimited supply of damaged bats that you can buy for $18, or roughly 1/416th the cost of an entire oceanfront home. Once you've satisfied your shopping needs, feel free to dance past the police station and City Hall, waving to our loyal leaders. You can also take the time to stop by the tiny orange house at the tip of the town if you're confused or need any guidance. I tell you, this city really has it all. What else could you ask for? Oh, you want to know about the arcade surrounded by a raging gang activity? Nothing sneaks past you, friend. Well, one sec. All right, let's go check it out. Well, the arcade itself is one of a kind. Seriously, no other one exists in the world. It's a 2-story arcade. You see, our city's had a little problem for quite a while. For so long, in fact, that we've lost some hordes of people to Tucson because of it. And no, it's utterly devastating. Tucson, ugh. A teenager by the name of Frank Failproof Fly moved in, recruited other punk teenagers, and established himself with such authority that even the police force won't touch him. I know it sounds rather odd, but aside from being tough, he seems to be quite intelligent too. He's even constructed a fighting robot of sorts. He calls it the Frankenstein Mark II, which was very clever. His underlinings, the Sharks, which I've mentioned before, are not only good at vandalizing and tomfoolery, but also accessorizing. They come in Yes Man Jr., Skate Punk, and Pogo Punk varieties. Each one is worse than the last, truly. So, as long as you constantly have a metal t-ball bat in your hands, you should be ready for anything. Oh yeah, and one of the arcade machines has killer instincts, so that's pretty boss. And there you have it, a comprehensive guide to what I believe is the best city in the entire game. It may challenge your wits from time to time, but in the end, I know you'll be able to call it home like the rest of us. And in case I haven't said it quite clear enough, f*** Tucson. I hope they know that about Tucson. I mean, yeah, I don't. A cool music venue I've heard about. Actual place to send your kiddos to learn things. Yeah, yeah.